Good evening, good evening, good evening. Clandad here, lock up your bums. We're doing a recruit training tonight, so we're just going through some basics. So I thought I'd do a surprise Tuesday stream. Let's go for it. Yeah, stand by. Got some audio not coming through. For some reason. 1, 2. Yeah. Let's check that out again then.
That V?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's actually bound to your settings yet, so it's going to control.
Yes, I know.
Yep.
And then configure add-ons on the bottom right.
And now I've got to configure my audio.
And in the drop-down list.
So let's go in there and go to cable A.
Movement. Yeah, A's movement.
No?
Did you find it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
There
you have vehicle quick mount. So basically, I have shift space. Everyone have different ones. I think someone had F3 or something. But basically, yeah, it's the button where you just get into a vehicle quickly instead of having to scroll action and stuff like that.
Jesus Christ.
Very useful, especially when you're getting shot at.
Why can't I hear anything?
That climb button there, if you want.
My God, Blue, what's going on?
Actually use that.
Can't hear anything from the game now. Oh, my lordy.
Right. There is. Let's see.
Nothing from game. Mic is okay. Yeah, my mic's okay, but I can't hear anything from the mic.
Going to the configure for the weapon.
Right,
This
just
is something we do.
bear with me, mate.
Just recently started to do is we get everyone to change their
Options.
key to double G rather than G, so there's no misclicks. So if you go into weapons category in the base settings and make your
Why can't I hear anything? Voice meter.
I think
That should be on.
it's very useful. We have accidents frequently, but hopefully this will help us.
1, 2. Good check. Nice one. All right, now I can hear everyone. Can someone give me a comment? Oh, good. No. So as I was saying, I don't know whether you heard me or not, but yeah, it's new recruit day. So we're going to go through some of the basics, and I just thought I'd give you an extra stream, basically. Special Tuesday.
Ace Interact. Have you used
My God.
I don't think so.
Okay, so basically it's like realism stuff, actions and like healing and bandaging and all that stuff.
Blue's giving me a shitload of messages.
Again, configure add-ons.
It is fine. Good.
And you
Thank you.
to Ace Common.
All right. I can deal with quiet.
Yeah. And then you have interact key and self-interact key.
So anyway.
They are very vital keys that you need to be able to use
Sometimes
while moving or sometimes while doing other stuff. So pick a keybind that fits you. So don't control alt Z or something like that. That's weird.
So this is what we go through when new recruit joins. We're going to go through all the hotkeys with him, set him up the communications, and yeah, take him through some basic team maneuvers, probably some contact reports, all the usual things that we do every week. I was just coming over here to talk to my stream.
I understand that.
So basically, interact key and
I just came here to be in the cool club.
Turn it down the audio because you are very much overpowering everything else with your mic.
don't
Right, copy.
think so. I think that is the basic
Why
controls
didn't
that
you
we've set up
teach
now.
all this to me? Nice story.
Actually,
It's a new regime.
It's a new regime.
what?
Well, yeah, you didn't
Sorry.
It was,
getting
oh,
angry.
God damn
Need
it.
to move a little bit further, you three.
Watch this.
So, the last setting is the enhanced movement rewind.
We'll do that.
So basically, it's the same.
Come here. What?
No, I need to be near it, mate, because I'm listening.
Yeah.
I've set that to control V. But this is why you disable
Fuck's sake.
the one in Ace. This is like our special climbing.
I'm just going to adjust my microphone. This is going well, isn't it? It's a last minute idea to do this, so
You mind a bit?
excuse me.
Go. Let's illustrate.
Let's change it in Streamlabs.
Pilgrim, can you climb that? Climb that Hesco? Okay.
Yeah, stand by. Yeah, no, can you ask someone else for now?
Yeah, I'll see if I can climb.
Climb!
I think, yeah.
Come on, Spider-Man. So that's the Ace into give it a go, see if it works. So Control V, right? Yeah, there you go. So
Let's see if that's a bit better.
it's not, that's just a vault. We can do this for small objects as well.
Yeah.
You can also climb like a high wall. I think you can even probably get up here, maybe. Nope, that was too tall.
Maybe with the pole here.
Oh, so
Yeah,
close.
well, fucking hell, people are gonna get hurt. Come back now, guys. Let's focus.
I hope he gets hurt, then you can teach him about self-interact.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
but there we
help, I
go.
was getting hurt.
like that.
Yeah, so next step we're gonna go through is the safety. So every time you're facing, putting your weapons near to people's heads or whatever, we lower the weapon and avoid muscle sweep. So when I sweep my muscle across a teammate, that's muscle sweeping. If you
Muzzle.
point your weapon at friendly.
But
So, what?
Sweeping.
it's muzzle, not muscle, just so he knows.
Sweeping.
What?
That's when you
Muscle?
flex your
Muzzle,
muscles
not
at
muscle.
somebody, Ox.
What the fuck did I
Think
say? It's
about the
muscle.
You said
muscle.
muscle.
Muscles.
I mean, to be fair.
I'm sick. Moving on. Yeah, lower the weapon, and you also have like a special. We have animations for CPU stance. So this is T. If that's T. That also does the same. It's a little bit faster than the. This one takes a little bit longer. So if you want to be quick, you can just boom. That.
There's two different ones, by the way.
You can do Shift T as well for a lower one. And I like to use this one so I can see what I'm doing.
Okay.
That is something that you don't need to use that. It's just a tool. If you get used to it, it's gonna help. Maybe so you don't shoot people in the back of the head. So next up is the safety for corners. This is something that we run into quite a lot. Blue and Pret, can you set up on this corner right here? Actually, that box is in the way, isn't it? Oh.
Goodbye, box.
Get out of here.
Okay. So let's set
Cool
up on this
box.
corner. So basically, they're gonna cover this corner now. In general, we only want one person per corner. In general, if for instance you can do stuff like that, it's a general habit. Sometimes we can allow two people. The only reason we would allow two people, or the only way to set it up, is by calling it out, and we all call it high-low. So we say, Pret says to Blue, high-low, and he says, yeah, I'll be high-low. So you tell him, if you stand up, I'm going to shoot you in the back of the head. So basically, it's just telling the person in front of you, don't stand up.
Okay.
And they know you're basically tucking in right behind them. So that's basically what we call a high-low. But we try to avoid, the problem is like sometimes it's people get ahead of themselves and there's like 4 people in the same corner. That is not something we want to do. It does still happen because shit hits the fan. Discipline goes out the window. But generally, this is what we should try to maintain.
Yep.
Right, cool. Next, we're going to go through the Alpha and Bravo teams. So in this case,
Here, let me fix that.
basically, I think Camel's the extra guy now, so you don't have to think about him. So basically, he deleted the wrong one, but okay. What happened?
What?
We want Blue back in and Camel.
We just need some 2 people so I can illustrate better.
Okay.
Blue.
There you
reset
go.
my
Now you
blue?
have a Bravo.
No, I need another team. I need the Grenadier as well.
Brett,
Anyone?
anyone?
Yeah. Okay, so Pratt, select Team Red. So in general, do you have the ST HUD on the bottom, like that little compass with the names? And stuff?
Yeah.
You can also see there that who's talking and stuff like that. And that it's very useful, quick, easy to read. But basically, yeah, there's generally 2 body teams, and the body teams consist of the body team 1, which is Blue and Prep, the red team, and then body team 2, which is you and Pilgrim.
Okay.
And I'm also supposed to be in team 1, but in this case, it's just 2 and 2. And the point of this is basically we always stick to our body team members. So when you get shot, Pilgrim's got you back. When he gets shot, you got his back. So don't leave him in the shit, basically. So the different roles we have that are basically the Rifleman. Who's the Rifleman? Prep? Nope. Blue is the Rifleman. So he's basically the AT guy. In this case, he has a light AT and he has 2 ATs and he's got another one in his backpack. So basically, he's in charge of picking out vehicles. That's the Rifleman's job, as well as defuse. He's like, he's the person who goes to prone next to an ID and get himself blown up.
Oh, fuck
That's
you.
good that that's good that you practiced Keybinds there again now. Next
you go.
person is
Explosive.
Prep Maker.
Thank
Prep
you.
Maker is the Grenadier in this case, and he's just in charge of helping the Rifleman. And he also has explosives and a team 3. He's got the big sticks. And then you got the assistant gunner, which is Pilgrim. He is the team medic. So every team has sort of like a medic. It's not an actual medic, but it's the person in charge of dealing with casualties.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get hit, he comes and help you. You say, "I'm hit." He'll come running, probably patch you up without shooting you, and you'll be on your way.
Yeah.
And you are in the automatic rifleman role now, which basically stands for all the firepower in the team. So we generally want. Camel is very good at this. It's full on. It's a machine gun you're holding. So don't do 2-round bursts. This is go terminate. Generally, it's very good. It's very good for morale as well. When you lay it down, lots of fire, which keeps the enemies down. Yeah, that's pretty much the team. Make sure just to keep to Pilgrim, always to your body team, all the time. You should never be away from them unless specifically told by your team leader. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think next is the team formation. So we're just gonna, waltz. Oh, actually, do we have that on the map? Yeah, we do have it on the map. Great. So if you open the map, do you see me pointing at stuff?
One sec.
On the top.
Yep.
Right, so basically these are the formations generally that we use. So if you check here on the left, that is the wedge formation. So should all of these formations are moving forward or north. So the team leader's in the center with the body team on either side. That makes sense?
Yep.
Next one is the column, pretty much the most basic. Team leader followed by team 1 and team 2. The order of these things can change, but this is the default.
Yeah.
It just depends on the situation, really, and the team leaders. But generally, yeah, that's pretty much how it looks. And then you've got the line formation underneath that, which is, well, pretty much a wedge formation except flattened out. We get all the firepower to the front and everybody shooting in the same direction. Next one is the double column. This is something we generally don't use that often, maybe in vehicles more often than in infantry, but they also exist. I think they pretty much self-explanatory. That's basically the formation. So we're going to give that a go, just see if we can get a nice one.
Pretty patterns.
Hey?
Pretty patterns.
Pretty patterns.
Pretty patterns. Let's go. Okay, yeah, form up on me then. Let's go. Oh yeah, shit, forgot about that. The different paces.
Oh yeah.
There we go. So basically, there are three
Six.
different paces. Right. So we always have a weapons down and weapons up, which is convoluted to be honest. But basically,
I knew he was going to say convoluted.
the main movement is jogging. Jog with like this.
That's your weapon up.
Yeah, I have my weapon up right now, and I'm jogging. So basically, this is the pace that. Because you know you're jogging because your weapon is being lowered as you move.
Yep.
So that's jogging. This is weapons down or weapons up. This is weapons down. It's still the same pace. It's still jogging. So it's jogging weapons down and jogging weapons up. That's the two differences, yeah. The next one is tactical pace. The pace is this pace. If you press C, I think. Oh wait, what's the other key waiting for?
Double C.
Double tap
It's a
C.
double
to
C.
toggle it.
So you see that? So now when you move around, you move rather quite fast, but your weapon is still up. You're basically ready to shoot. Yeah. So that's the one we usually do when we do assaults, when we're going through buildings and stuff like that. That tactical pace. And then of course the walking. Again, weapons up, weapons down. It's just walking. Do have a slow jog, which is weapons down, and then that pace thing. So, not sure if I'm doing it right now, am I?
Weapons down and C.
An easy way to distinguish whether you're doing it or not is that
Oh wait,
top right
Hey,
under
can
your
you see the top right? I can see
Yeah,
the
that's
speed.
in addition to
yeah,
later
the speed
update.
thing. So there should be 3 arrows if you're jogging with your weapons down,
Yeah.
and 2 arrows.
I haven't got that.
To show, though.
Crouch
You crouch or something.
or stand.
Okay. Alright, yep, there you go. There's the speed limit. Okay, do we all understand the paces? And also double time is sprinting, basically hold shift and like. That's something you don't want to generally do because it takes a lot of stamina, and especially if you got the machine gun, that's going to be a fucking nightmare.
As does tactical pace. That's
Yeah.
that.
Now the reason
That's very lots of energy taken up.
is to save on energy. If you run constantly, you will run out of stamina and you will get a very big weapon sway. So that's why we have those 3 paces, and they will always be called out when moving out.
Yeah,
Yep.
so basically, it's about control and keeping different paces and just knowing this so you can keep track. Obviously, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get it right the first time. As long as
It's always one somewhere off in the corner,
you just have
rolling around.
a sprint or whatever to get up, then that's gonna have to be the case. It doesn't have to be perfect. So you learn as you go when you notice that you're not in pace with other people. But it's not a great problem. Column on me.
About me, I don't get any of that.
Jogging.
Column.
Right, behind me, Bi. So that's it.
Well, let me just catch up with him.
Alright, walking then.
So we're jogging slow until we catch up, and then we'll just walk.
Yeah.
And we'll walk now.
And obviously we want, in certain situations, we want more and less dispersion depending on the situation. Generally, 5-8 meters apart is good. You don't want to die in the same grenade explosion that the person in front of you or behind you. Right, so basically we're in a column formation right now, so this is the easiest formation to switch to another one, so that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to take a stop here, and then we're going to form a wedge formation. Team 1 on the right side, and Team 2 on the left side. Form wedge.
Let's go. So a good pointer is if you have the guy in front just on your right-hand side of your screen there, just on the edge. And then you'll know.
The radar is sort of like a arrowhead, basically.
So if you move back a bit, about 5 meters that way, and to the right, to the left, yep. Just so I'm on your right-hand screen, mate, about in the middle.
Yep.
Cool. And now you look at your SD HUD. That's a good wedge.
fine. Okay, let's move out a little bit. Jogging.
Jogging. Jogging weapons up.
Yeah, jogging weapons up.
Right. Let's form a line formation.
Which means we just keep on going until we're in line with actual, and then down. So until you're in line with me. Cool. And then you instantly take a left sector, because you're on the far left. So if you just look a bit more left. Yep, cool.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. That's the three formations that we generally use. Double column, staggered column. We don't need to go through it. It's not important. I'd rather go through the other stuff. Let's gather around.
Come on over, boys.
Right. So basically, there are different volumes for your voice with Taskforce Radio. So if you press Shift Tab, it's gonna see your little UI on the bottom right. So you can either be whispering, talking normal, or yelling. So we use these three levels to shout at each other over larger distances without using the radio. So Shift and Tab. Do you get that? You see that?
Default is Control Tab. Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Control
Oh shit!
Tab,
Oh
not
sorry.
Shift
Yeah,
Tab.
okay.
Shift Tab's
Yeah.
the Steam interface.
So right now I'm on whispering, so you probably can't hear me now. Or yelling.
Wait, what's the keybind?
Control tab.
Okay.
You should see a little head on the bottom right.
I think that's a different keybind from me.
What's this, sorry?
That's bringing up TeamSpeak overlay.
Which one's this? Sorry.
Yeah.
The control tab, right?
This is for changing your volume.
I think maybe it's that you have. You can probably rebind that to something else if you want.
Yeah.
Not quite sure. If you go into same settings as before, you go into controls, configure add-ons, and then you got Taskforce Radio, TFAR.
Mine's on screen lock because I'm different and special.
Yeah. Change speaking volume. It's underneath all the channels. There's the keybind for it, so we'll see what it says.
And ace.
Yeah.
Cool. So I do have to yell across like a building or whatever it is. You do yelling.
Yeah.
Do note this though that the AI can hear you. So if you are yelling, if you're doing a stealth mission, they're gonna listen. They're gonna hear you, and then they're gonna know where you are basically.
When communicating with your fire team, unless you're really far away, it's always best to talk on local like we are now, because the radio is going to be used by the team leaders and the squad leader for tactical decisions. Unless, obviously, you've got a contact where everyone needs to know.
But that will be explained later.
Which will be explained later.
We're gonna go through contact reports. Yeah. So another thing is the keybinds for the radio. Then. So you already know how to transmit the caps lock. You can also basically change your radio frequencies by clicking the numpad buttons. So basically there are presets. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the ones that we use generally are only 1 and 5. So 5 is for platoon, which is like the commander element, and then 1 is just generally the squad where the infantry is. That is mostly what you're going to be seeing.
Unless you're in Bravo, then you will be. There's also channel 1, indeed.
Wait, so what shall I be set on now?
Always channel 1.
1. Yeah, always set on 1, channel 1. When you start team leading in the future, maybe you'll get used to the other stuff. Yeah, so if you want to do Control P, I think.
Correct.
Control P.
And that should bring up your
Radio with no numbers.
channel, next channel. Decrease volume, increase volume. That basically, if you need to, lower or increase the volume of the radio, you can do that there.
Yeah.
And also change the channel if you want.
Okay.
Cool.
That is.
That's
if
pretty
you
much the
don't have
radios. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go through contact reports. So every time we shoot a contact, we always let people know.
Range.
Okay.
That.
Yes, we are going to go to that one.
We still need to
so-
learn about attachments.
Attachments?
Yes.
Attachments. You mean?
Yes.
Well, I should put. Actually,
Here, I'll take it.
We are going to the box either way, so.
wait. I'll need to think.
Now, you might want to take the medium AR for that.
The thing is that do you know how to use the arsenal? In Arma?
No.
No. Okay, so basically, if you scroll wheel on this box and look for
Yeah.
the yellow action, press spacebar on it.
Yep. Oh no, I think I know how to use this.
Yeah. So you can select your rifle on the left, and on the right there'll be a column for all types of sights, rail attachment, muzzles attachment. It's
Yeah, I've
just
used
there.
this.
Sometimes this is on, sometimes this is off, depending on the mission maker and what he deems is suitable.
Yeah. Try not to pick any shit. Sometimes we can't get rid of those. We don't like having that shit in the game.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, we tend to stick to the loadouts we're given unless we're told otherwise.
Yeah, changing sights and stuff like that. Exactly what Campbell is doing right now is pretty much what you shouldn't be doing. So putting the gay whatever the fuck he's got on it takes people out of the game, kind of a little bit silly. But yeah, HLC thought it was a good idea to put that in, as well as the anime bullshit. But
Doing
fuck
missions
it.
is called box time.
me that
So
did
when
it.
they say box time doing missions, that's the time when you run to this box and get a nice attachment to your gun.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's head over to that training ground.
What did you say?
Mr. Scott.
Ypsilon.
Epsilon? What? I don't know. That key.
Okay.
What letter does Ypsilon start with?
I?
Alright, veterans on my
Yes.
left, and then the bio on the
Like
far
what?
right side of formation. Let's get a line formation.
Do I count as a
Pilgrim
veteran?
set up on the right as well, I guess.
Copy.
And then Osley next to Pilgrim.
Which is and which is your right? Because you keep.
And
spinning
then
around.
Camel and Blue, the other side. That
this.
side. So we're gonna go from left to right and do reports one by one.
You're supposed to over there.
Wait, stand here. This is they're gonna be right here. Okay, so contact report consists out of 3 Ds. Those are you can see them on the screen in front of you. Direction, distance, and detail. Those are the 3 main elements you want to deliver in your report. Direction and distance is the most vital one. Detail, if you have time. In this practice, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to give the direction, either by cardinal, northwest. Try not to use any specific degrees if you can help it. But cardinal directions using front, quarter left, half left, and full left. So quarter left, if you look all of you look to the north, straight north with the compass.
Do you want to tell them about the view distance so we can actually see these contacts?
Yeah, we can do that.
Even I can see those contacts.
So once you have it to the north, if you look in the direction of 340, if north is front, 340 is quarter left,
Right, mate.
and 320 is half left. So quarter, half, and then full, which is the 90 degree on the left.
Uh,
Does that make
Right, right, mate. It's quarter right.
No.
Yeah, that's you. Right.
If north is front,
Yeah.
340 is quarter left,
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
quarter half left.
I thought we were looking straight. Okay, sorry. My apologies.
I will join you.
Thought I was going to have to write it on his hand.
A few times now ahead of you, so they'll say direction, distance, detail. Let's just give it a go and see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see what my.
But we're facing northwest though.
Open your player menu.
Yep.
And go into
That's so confusing. Why didn't he say forward is? Oh, anyway, doesn't matter.
So you can see all the contact.
That was funny.
Alright, Blue, you're first. Shit.
But do you not want me to go first?
Yeah, go. It's just a weird direction that nobody else will see. Oh, I already. Oh no, I already did one.
Found him.
Contact bearing southwest. He's about 200 meters just behind the road and in amongst the stone walls.
Yeah. Direction southwest. Distance about 200 meters. And then detail behind the road by the stone walls. Right, that's all three. Right. You can shoot him, Blue.
Right, we can. Oh, blue.
Right. Camel, you're next.
He's so strong.
On the radio.
Contact west, about 200 meters or 150, near the two-story house.
Yep. Direction, distance, detail. Go kill him. That. Shoot that dude. Nice shot. So, yeah. If you explain buildings and stuff using the color of the building or the layout of the building is very good as well. Like the two-story with a balcony is very specific, which is good. Yeah. Next up, Pret. Let's start with you.
Yay. Is he die? Did he die or is it the same one?
No, he respawned. Yeah, he respawned.
Okay. Contact west, medium distance, near two-story building.
Yep. Medium works as well. It's a little bit vague because everyone has a different meaning for medium, but it gets the point across. Like it's not close, it's not danger close,
Fuck.
it's not far away.
No one told you to shoot.
Yeah.
Good. Osler, you're next.
Alright, hold on.
Show us that you learned something.
Alright,
Don't fuck this
alright.
up, Osler. Don't fuck this up, Osler.
Alright. Let's find out where. Calm it. Like, hold on, can I? Hold on. I need to go
I
closer
can't
to
see.
the arrow.
Might not be able to see from there, Oz.
Yeah, you can see him from here.
Oh yeah. Alright. Contact northwest.
On the radio.
About 300 meters. Just before the shrubs.
Yes, about right, yeah.
We call that. What do we call that? Elephant grass.
Well, they
Elephant
call it
grass?
elephant
Jeez,
grass,
never heard of that.
Pampas.
but really,
Pampers. Pampers is.
It's none of this is elephant grass. This is just bushes. And there's a one-story building there, which is a much better descriptor.
But that's not the contact though.
That's not the contact.
So where the fuck's the contact then?
It's not.
Oh right. Oh, it's elephant grass.
Yeah, we call that elephant grass. It's very specific on what that area is actually. Jesus,
It
what
must
fuck.
be less than 300 meters.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot that guy.
you can just call it tall grass and be
Alright.
like
Yeah.
person.
Pilgrim, you're next. Oh wait, yeah, Pilgrim next. It has spawned.
That means it's far.
Oh right. Okay. Maybe I'm behind the sign.
No, it's not behind the sign.
Found it.
The fuck?
Look at the arrow.
Oh yeah. Contact 200 meters, brow of hill, behind rocks.
No message, Pilgrim.
Empty.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Contact northwest, 200 meters, behind rocks.
He's down. Oh no.
Yeah.
What?
Direction, distance, detail. Bye, are you ready for yours?
Yep.
Where the fuck did they go?
Ah.
Very
There it
far
is.
this time, Ox.
Yeah, it's a little bit further. See a speck of little
Pixel.
score. Pixel.
Oh, that one.
Wait, who's calling it?
Oh wait, I don't have any traces. Can someone put a tracer nearby? Yeah. Alright, don't kill him.
Oh yeah.
Don't kill him.
Wasn't trying to.
What part of
Alright.
You hit him 3 times.
Wonder why my weapon is sounding weird.
Contact northwest west behind short rocks.
Yeah,
Cool.
very much. Stone walls, and don't forget the distance.
Oh yeah.
One question.
What do you think that is?
400 meters.
Yeah, a bit less, 300 maybe,
350.
350.
It's 400 about, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
300 would easily, like, that's good enough. Don't have to be bad. But that's really good. So you get that northwest, that's excellent.
Axman,
Okay, that's it.
Can't hear my own weapon.
is it better to go like west?
Can't hear my own weapon. It's very odd.
West, northwest, west.
what's up?
Yeah, west-northwest is actually, yeah, that's true.
It is, yeah.
It's the closest one you call out first. Because all the things, like all the 3Ds are basically, where do I look? And you narrow it down. So if you say contact front, boom, everybody knows what the fuck that means. So it's the quickest way to reach people. The problem is when some people use like, contact direction 0, 4, or 5. That's like fucked up. And doesn't help.
It's okay for very long ranges.
Bottom
What are you gonna do?
is very useful as well for just quick snapping. Report.
Fucking dope.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Go fucking
All right,
dope.
we are going to head off to the medical training, and that is going to be our last step.
Sweet.
Let's go.
Does anybody see that last contact?
I mean,
That one over there. Oh well, never mind.
never mind. No.
Okay, so if you look at that's actually the spawn casualty.
What?
Right, so basically we simulate our casualties here, like for medical training. So I've spawned a certain casualty now. If you go here and then check him, and you interact, you see all his body parts, the dog tag, interaction. You see that?
Yep.
Cool. So for some reason he doesn't have any bandage. He doesn't need any bandages. But basically, this is a casualty, and we basically set up tiers for our different types of casualties. So it's basically the seriousness of a casualty.
Yep.
It goes from tier 1 being the most extreme to tier 4 being, well, not very important.
Thank you.
A tier 4 is someone who's dead. So we don't say, Oscar is dead. We say he's a tier 4.
Okay.
And then I pass that on to Air Corps or whatever who's in charge of the reinserts.
Passes it on to me.
Gets him. Yeah. So
We're gonna
basically,
train, and I'm
tier
gonna
4
be-
is the least important one, but obviously it's very good for people to call it out because otherwise they don't get back in the field.
Yep.
But that's tier 4. So tier 3 is the light injury. That's basically if all these tiers are based on blood level.
Yeah.
So in this one while we're at it. Yeah.
There's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. You're not going to get it all right in the first time, but basically, lost a lot of blood, lost a large amount of blood, are tier 2.
Yeah.
Lost some blood is tier 3.
Okay.
And then the last one, tier 1, is fatal. So but generally a tier 1 is when they are in cardiac arrest, which means they need CPR. So the only way to check for that is to check the torso. Okay. Can I give him CPR? If I can give him CPR, that's the first thing you do, and then you scream for help.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So, I mean,
Alright.
these are, like, this takes a long time for people to get right. So you don't have to worry about it too specifically, but it's, it's so now introduced to the system. I don't expect you to learn it. It takes time. Fucking veterans for 5 years have still not managed to learn. So,
I still don't know the tiers.
Camel, god damn it. Even Osley knows.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, I can sometimes call it, but
Sometimes.
whatever. I'm
Sometimes,
not sure
okay,
about
right.
it.
I'll find.
Is he still alive? Yeah, okay, so basically to get blood levels up then, so you need blood bags or
Yeah.
transfusion of what's it called, a saline.
That's the one.
So basically, yeah, you refill the health basically, and that's generally we have a pretty basic setup for the medical. We patch each other up, and we use the blood levels, and then a final is a pack. It's called. It's like a full heal.
Morphine.
Yeah.
Morphine we don't actually use. There is morphine for the medics, but we generally don't use it because the pack does the same thing.
Yeah.
So
don't
any
always
casualty
carry
that you
morphine.
see is always shouted out. When you see a casualty, scream it to your team leader. If he's not responding, use the radio to call to your team leader. Every time there's a casualty, everybody needs to know.
Yeah.
So never skimp out on that. Just scream.
Communication.
You're free to use the radio for anything important, such as like contact reports and stuff like that. So that's completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
MHQ, teleport, thingy.
Yeah, that's the last part. So another thing about the casualty processing, always one person per casualty. We never like 3 people on one casualty.
Yeah.
And we see some people like dealing with a casualty, just set up, cover their sectors and cover the flanks. It's always nice to see new recruits do that because it's like it's
Looks good.
it's a discipline and a skill that sometimes get lost in the heat of battle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's generally useful just to cover each other's asses and let some other people deal with it. This goes for all players, but I mean, it happens to the best too. Not people forget it.
I don't.
I'm going to go to the last part, which is we can go here. Actually, he's brought the MHK. So basically, we have 3 different ways in general to bring people back from the dead. So we play with respawn, so there's no like permanent death unless there's a specific mission for it. And then we have 3 setups then. So the first one being the MHQ, that is this vehicle. We deploy that, and then you can teleport back from the spawning area using the flag, and then teleporting back to base as well. If you scroll action, you'll see that you can disassemble it and then teleport to base, etc.
Okay.
That is the first way. So the second way is
Are
to
you stealing organs?
do a parachute reinsert,
Right now, that
which is a scripted like thing. So you get dropped far up in the sky
Okay.
with a parachute, and then you can just drop down. I'm going to show you how that works because we're going to go back to base. So if you go ahead and try and use this one, so teleport back to base.
That was quick.
Right. In this case, Bio, if you check this panel here, it's usually a flag. This is special for the training. There you can see teleport the MHQ too. You see that?
Yep.
Where's the flag for that? Shit.
I found the MHQ too.
Well done.
Disable it.
Select that, you get spawned, and you get dropped. Sometimes the mission has that option, but the leaders haven't defined the drop zone. So this is something we define before we play. So otherwise, you might, if it's not defined, you might drop somewhere that's not part of the mission, part of the map. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we call it out what we can. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's all the steps. Quite a lot of information. I hope it's not too confusing.
You too, Oscar.
No fun.
We're
Okay.
pretty much done. So the question here is, should we do the initiation now, or should we do it on
We'll do it on
Thursday?
Thursday. We'll do it
It's on
Thursday.
Thursday.
In the
Okay.
meantime,
Before we go into all things, do you
I
have
have-
any questions, Bio?
go for it.
No, I don't think so.
Anything unclear?
Nah.
Well, if everybody is good, then I'm gonna go show everybody else around the racetrack.
Oh yeah. Do you not want to play a mission, or do you want to just?
I'm in.
I thought we weren't.
I have a small mission on. If you want to play.
I mean,
Mission will be fast.
this will
come on.
take like 5 minutes.
Yeah, come on.
Right, I'm going to end it there because obviously some fuckery is going on. So if we do a little mission, I'll stream it. If you want to find out more about us, go to Discord GOL official, GOL official, and there'll be someone there to take you through all the stuff.
I'm gonna go and buy.
So for now, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.